As a Nigerian practicing law in the US, can you tell me maybe the situations or the circumstances you faced? Were there any merits and demerits? And if there were any demerits, how did you overcome them? So if you're given the sum of 2 billion, or so let's make it higher, make it higher. 20 billion rather.
20 billion naira?
$20 billion dollars.
Okay, because I gotta put it in context.
Right? To quit practicing law in the UK, that's to come down to Nigeria to continue. Would you accept it?
So, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, family, and friends, make this moment possible. I stand here today because of divine intervention and purpose, and I'm deeply grateful for the blessings of the community. Uplifted by the strength of family legacy and the immense pride that fills my heart. This moment is one of profound gratitude and reflection, which has been made possible.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. We are here again with me, Ifechi, your renowned host on Talk Your Mind. Today, I'm here with a very interesting personality. She's in the judicial field herself. Can we please meet you, ma?
Greetings, everyone. Oh, wow. What an honor to be sitting here with you. You're just this incredible, young, phenomenal young lady. My name is Abayomi Ajaiyeoba, and I am a judge in the U.S. I sit in family court, so I'm happy to have this impromptu moment with you.
I'm happy to be here. Well, I myself am an aspiring lawyer, meaning that I'm looking forward to going into the judicial field. Can you please, do you have any words of advice or inspiration for me myself?
Well, one thing my mother taught me when I was growing up, my boyfriend is my books. So focus on the books. The men and the boys, they'll come later, right? So just, study hard and just keep your eye on the prize. Connect with people that are in the field that you want to be part of. So that's why it's important, like I mentioned to you, I also know some of the judiciary here, so I could connect you with some people, because part of the process is also, in the US, young people, they have an opportunity to be interns in different organizations that align with what their vision is for the future. So definitely having mentors who can guide you and give you information on how to navigate the field that you feel that you may want to pursue later on.
Okay. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Can you please tell me, you mentioned there are different fields, like different categories. Can you please mention different fields? Like, if, for example, if I want to be a lawyer, can I also divert into being a judge? Like, can
you also, what, I'm sorry?
Can I divert into being, maybe later in the future,
yes,
I can decide to be a judge?
Absolutely, because before I became a judge, I practiced as a lawyer for 20 years. So once you become a judge, you're retiring from the practice of law, because you're no longer practicing law, you're more administering law. So even when I became a judge, now on the other side of things, I had to take pause, because if someone was not doing something, I couldn't really interject and say anything, because it's their case. I'm not an advocate. I'm someone that, I'm a trier of fact. So you have to, be in the US, you have to, be on an attorney for a number of years before you can become a judge. And like I said, I was a judge. I was an attorney for 20 years. And after that, I went through a process where I was evaluated to determine whether or not I'm fit to be a judge. So I went through an intense interview process, and I was ultimately nominated. And then in the US, we have elections. So even though I got a nomination from a party and my seat was guaranteed, I still had to go through an election process.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. As we know, we have different types of law, different categories. When we're talking about the property, criminal, international, and so forth. So which side did you base on? And was there any points where you switched for any reason?
So I primarily worked in the government sector. And part of the government sector, I worked at the fire department, where I did code enforcement. Prior to that, I was in a private firm where I did real estate litigation, and that was interesting. But then ultimately, I also branched into alternative dispute resolution, which is an area that I really enjoy. So as I mentioned right before becoming a judge, I was at the fire department. I also did some work in the civil rights arena as well. And that's the beauty about having a law degree, is that you can transition into other areas of law easily. You just have to get versed in that area of law. So even now as a family court judge, criminal law was not always an interest of mine, but there's certain statutes that I have to delve in where it may intersect. So there's all these different aspects of law that may intersect with one another. So, it's just a matter of getting versed in that particular area of law, and and then you'll be able to transition easily.
All right. So people have certain comments about law that is not actually good. Like, for example, most people tend to say lawyers are liars. So is there anything you have to say concerning that, maybe to take people's mind off that aspect?
It's interesting that you say that, because lawyers, we are to, we uplift a particular code of conduct. So why people would think that, I don't know. So just like, when you go to a doctor, you undergo, you go through different investigations. And if it doesn't feel right, if you don't feel like that person is, being straight with you, then you go to another lawyer. You got to do your due diligence. In the States, we have a process where you can look, to see someone's record. People, they'll, make comments about how someone represented them. But lawyers, they don't lie. And you have to think about what position they're advocating. So I know, like, even before I became a lawyer, thinking about, okay, someone is now defending a criminal. Well, that criminal did that, but that criminal still needs a lawyer.
Exactly.
There may be some kind of loophole. So, it's just a matter of defending someone. So, even, if someone is, is like you're innocent until proven guilty. So, and that's the beauty about due process. We go through this process of law where, you make sure that the law is adhered to. You make sure that, if someone was sloppy in the investigation, that person got that person got a break. But that lawyer, because of the ethics and the code of conduct, they still have to advocate that person. So
as a Nigerian practicing law in the US, can you tell me maybe the situations or the circumstances you face, were there any merits and demerits, and if there were any demerits, how did you overcome them?
So when you're talking about demerits, so that's unfamiliar to me, because in our system there isn't a demerit, or because when I'm hearing demerit, I'm thinking of a whole nother system. So there's a demerit system here with people that practice law?
Well, I'm not talking about, what I'm mainly talking about here is, you're Nigerian and then you're going to another country to study law. It's kind of like they'll prioritize their own blood rather than someone else from a different continent. So is there anything like that?
Okay. So for me, I'm empowered because of my pride. I'm a proud Nigerian, so that comes first. So it's a matter of other people having to, get in line. So, like, even in my courtroom, I have the portrait now of Lady Justice represented as me. So I lead with who I am first, and everything else will follow. So I don't make, and people, when they see that, they embrace it, because I'm bold about it.
It's all about embracing your roots.
Yes. So once I do that, they see it, and it's just like, and I don't apologize for it. And that's because authenticity is something that's very important to me. So for me, it hasn't been a challenge or issue, because I just stand in my own truth, and that empowers me.
That's beautiful. Okay, we're about to go into the Talk Your Mind section. That's the Talk Your Mind question. So we'll see you guys after the commercial break. Are you looking for a platform where thought speaks and voices matters? Look no further. This is Talk Your Mind. My name is Mrs Abayomi, one of the renowned hosts of the thought-provoking podcast, Talk Your Mind. Talk Your Mind is all about bringing to you different subject matter relating from sports, entertainment, music, arts, history, politics, lifestyle, business, and so much more. We do with real talk, real people, and real impact. So to enjoy relating conversations and daily societal problems, join us on our social media platform on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. So come along with us and let us all talk our minds. So we are back. We welcome back, everybody. We are here. This is the Talk Your Mind section, and we're about to actually do Talk Your Mind question. Are you ready, Ma?
Sure. Ready as I'm gonna be.
Okay, all right. So if you're giving the sum of 2 billion, let's make it higher. Let's make it higher. 20 billion rather.
20 billion naira?
20 billion dollars.
Okay, okay, because I gotta put it in context.
Right. To quit practicing law in the UK, that's to come down to Nigeria to continue. Would you accept it?
If I was given $20 billion
Dollars
to leave the U.S. and come here, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would do it because I mean, no, I would. You know what? Because ultimately, I mean, this is where my roots lie, and part of and it's very important to make sure that you have your 5 year plan in place. But for me, I know the number of years I'm going to be on the bench. Right now, my seat is guaranteed for 14 years, but I know that I'm not. I don't plan on going for a second run because I have other interests, and Nigeria is part of that interest. I want to come back. I want to give back to the community. There's so much that I see here that I could do with other things that I'm working on. I'm working on a doctorate right now as well, so I'll be, I could do consulting in that regard. So I would take it. I mean, God has been good, and actually, if God orders my steps in that direction, the 20 billion, I'll make good use of it and plant my seed right here.
All right, that's very beautiful. Who's going to reject that amount of money anyway?
Anyway, right? Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we have come to the end, close of our curtains in this episode of Talk Your Mind. We'll see you guys all later. I remain your host, Ifechi Obegoro, and I'm here with
Abayomi Ajaiyeoba.
Exactly.
Peace
See
and
you
blessings.
guys.